Hello and welcome to the Fools Rush In STFC podcast, back by absolutely zero demand after my 1 week absence. I am here to present and try and regain some order after the carnage that was last week's episode, but fair play to Craig and the team who did manage to put what was a quality episode out last week. So congratulations to you guys. We record on a sad day for Swindon Town after the news of Frank Burrows' passing, and I'm sure with everything we wanted to talk about tonight, it's only poignant to start with that. A man who made over 350 appearances for Swindon and obviously featured in the League Cup final win over Arsenal, among many other memorable games. And I know, Christian, you're obviously first episode back with us for a couple of weeks. I know you wanted to kick things off with just a little tribute to another legend passing on, sadly.
Yeah, he's one of those players it was before my time, but one of those heroes, League Cup winning heroes that sort of sometimes gets forgotten about, sort of slips under the radar. He wasn't such the big name as Don Rogers or John Trollope or Stan Harlan, Peter Downsborough, but he was a real mainstay of that side. Fantastic bloke. He was he had a good career at Swindon. Manager, he's a highly regarded manager at the likes of Cardiff and Swansea too. I always thought it's a shame that perhaps in those early 80 days we never got to see Frank Burrows really at Swindon Town managing. The last time I saw him, to be honest with you, was at the event at the Mecca, where it was at the 50-year celebration of winning the League Cup, and he was there with Don Rogers, John Trollope, and I think it was Joey Butler. And you could see, bless him, his health was deteriorating there. He wasn't really the person the big strong person that he was back, certainly when he was managing Cardiff and the likes in the 80s. Lovely bloke, so polite. It's untrue. And Swindon obviously held a real place in his heart. And again, he's one of those that we should always remember and love and respect for what he did for the club.
No, I completely agree. And you saying how as important as he was to the club was to him as well. You could see in the statement that the club put out earlier about how he would still regularly come back and watch and take parts in events like the ones you were speaking about, Christian. Ben, again, just to bring you in, it's always sad when you lose a club legend, but it's a good time to remember key moments and key people, isn't it?
Yeah. As I say, it's a sad time, and it's sad for everyone involved, for the club, his friends, and his family. A club legend, a true club legend, a proper one. He deserves every bit of that title and all the accolades that come to him for his efforts, not only for Town but throughout his career and managerial career. And deserves all the tributes. And I hope that he gets what he deserves and the send-off that he deserves from Swindon.
No, absolutely. And on behalf of everyone involved in our podcast, we send our best wishes to his friends and his family, and what's without question a very, very sad time for them. If we can, without wishing to deviate away from the severity, let's talk about the current crop of Swindon players then. Since you guys last recorded, 2 games, 2 wins. Kieran, let's start with the win away at Newport, if we can. A late winner, obviously, but Newport, traditionally a very difficult place to go and get a result for anybody, and but we managed it.
It's not for these league pissing Reds, is it? yeah, whoever doubted that result should really hang their head in shame, because it was never going to be in any sort of doubt. Like, we were always going to beat them. It was always going to be a good pitch for us to play on, and we were always going to do really well in it. But no, it was a good result. Looked a bit iffy at times. Looked like it was a close game, as we'd expect, because there's similar positions between us both in the leagues. But I just think away from home, we just have that little bit of luck, maybe luck go our way. At times, maybe not necessarily the best performances, but yeah, good win, and I think it was well deserved, and it was good to sort of back it up as well on Tuesday.
And Ben, his name will crop up a couple of times tonight, I'm sure, but Jack Payne really becoming crucial, influential, key, whichever one of these sorts of words you want to use. He's certainly chipping in with goals as well as performances.
Yeah, no, he's a jack of all trades. Just say, yeah, no, he's chipping in the goals. He's playing different positions. He's having a cracking season. He's doing what we thought he would be this season. Yeah, he's a good player. And I think he's a vital cog to the court. He assists goals. He scores goals. He digs in deep. He gets involved. He's one of I've got a few players that he shouldn't be playing in this division. It's a credit that he stayed. We've gone over every ground that he's still old ground that he's actually still here. Surprising that he is, and yeah, let's hope he's here next season and for a long time. Yeah, cracking player.
And Ned, we've alluded to it a few times over the last few weeks and maybe even a couple of months, about how we need to sort home form out because the away form will dip at some point. But as I kind of alluded to with Kieran, would you class winning away at Newport in the way we did as something of a statement? Maybe even when you consider the lateness of it, and the never say die, the never give up attitude of it. They played to the end to make sure they got the win away from home.
Well, it's definitely a statement, because I mean, they're really good at home, and I really do fancy them for going up this year. They sort of just missed out last year, but it's definitely a statement. I didn't, I was one of the ones who only fancied a draw. I must admit the pitch was so much better than I thought it was going to be. I was basing it off, the fact that it's been so shocking in recent years, but they've got a new management new management structure in place, and they're sort of heading down our direction, aren't they? The same that we're going, which is the right way to go. It's the new way to go. And I just I think the performance was fantastic, and long may it continue. But it was an absolutely cracking result, and so much. I honestly, I didn't believe was going to win that game, but they really sort of proved me completely wrong, which is nice for a change.
And the important thing, Christian, when you get a good result like that, is to back it up with another positive result. And last night, not only winning at home, but playing well enough and getting a good result, 3-1 at home to Hartlepool.
Yeah, absolutely. We finally got that monkey off our back now. We needed that. We needed to get by hook or by crook, get that home win. I'm not sure that I'd agree that it was impressive. I still think it was, we still conceded what was albeit an offside goal. It could have gone a lot the other way. We're not controlling the game at home like you'd wish, but you take, we got to break that curse. We've broken that curse. Hopefully, touch wood. Last night, and fingers crossed we keep up the away form as well. We've got who we got this week? Harrogate. Harrogate. But yeah, I fancy us to win that. If we can win that again, brilliant, happy days. I start believing. We need to be sat in that top three. And stay in that top three for as long as we can, because if we go into another lockdown, we know what happens. Like last time when we won the league by default, we need to be in that top three.
Well, let's hope it doesn't get to the point where we're all having to lock down again, that's for sure. Ben, it turned into a bit of a Fool's Rush in sort of night out, with most of the panellists going without somehow managing to all miss each other.
Yeah, it was a little bit like that, wasn't it? We all messaged each other saying we've all managed to get tickets, but partly probably because the fast call trying to get into the grounds and all managing to only get in just before kick-off, and all being at separate bits, albeit on the Don Rogers, all separate parts of the Don Rogers. I think we missed each other. I waved at Rich from a distance and he waved me back, but that's as far as I got to chatting to anyone. So I got Sarah behind me.
You mentioned about the we'll come back to the game in a minute, but it's interesting the point you made about you had some issues getting in, and that's a point we've obviously spoken about previously, and it's something that you've heard on through other avenues through the club, that it's something they're working on. Similarly, Ned's raised about the issues getting drinks at half time, etc. So if I can just bring you all in on these sorts of things, are we starting to see improvements yet from the fan experience perspective?
No.
No,
I don't. No. In a word, no. I don't think we'll see any improvement until next season. I think next season's the one when next summer they'll go, right, we've done this, that, this, and the other. But the phone lines. It took me 2 hours to get my dad's ticket for Saturday. I was on hold 2 hours, and I just had the phone next to me as I played PlayStation, just waiting for someone to answer. When they did, it just happened. Yeah, getting in again. It was a last minute rush to get to it. I come from Stratford upon Avon, so it was a drive. I can't get there like an hour early. So it's a bit of an arse trying to get the queue in and everything, but it is what it is. And if it's beyond, if they could fix it easily, they would do. If it was an easy fix, if it was a case of just getting a BT man to come in and fix the phones, they would do. If it was a case that I think there must be a proper job to get the actual gates open or get something. So it must be more complicated than First Four or what we can, or they just do it, because they're not deliberately trying to piss us off. No. So it must be more to it than that.
Sorry, Christian, you want in on this as well?
Yeah, I agree with what you say, Ben. What I'd also say, Ben, you struggle to get to the game early because you've got to travel for work, and that's totally, that's totally right, that's totally acceptable. But I think a lot of the people that can get to the game early, knowing that these problems are existing and they've been existing since the beginning of the season, think ahead and try and get in there about half an hour early. And then, it helps and it stops that bottleneck of people arriving late, queuing across, almost to the houses on Shrivenham Road to get in the Don Rogers stand. But on the flip side, the offer and once you get inside the stadium, it's got to be better, and they've got to sort this problem out with the bars, which is it's ridiculous. I mean, a couple of games I've been to, I've gone down 5 minutes before the first half has finished, and I'm still 20 minutes later in a queue, not able to get a drink. And when I get a drink, it's quickly back down and straight in. That's not right. You need people for that is a key pick. That's a key period. Those 15-20 minutes, you need a couple of people almost with, like they've got in Italy, Serie A, like backpacks on, walking down the aisles, selling pints for fiver. Because believe me, I don't give a shit if I'm paying £4 or £6 for a pint at half time, as long as I get a pint at half time. So, if I think people would get to the game earlier if everything was all the systems and that, and you could get served and get food and everything. I think it's a lot better in the Arcles. The queues in the Arcles, you've got the Legends Lounge downstairs, facilities there, and the facilities up in the stand as well. I've not been in there, so I'm not sure what the queues are like. But yeah, it's a two-way thing. If you can get to the ground earlier, well, we've got these problems, get to the ground earlier. But once you're there, the guys inside have got to be trying to make money, for God's sake,
And Ned, this is obviously a point you've raised on a couple of occasions in the past as well. How are you finding it at the moment? Much the same as what Christian said?
Yeah, I mean, it is the same. I live in Swindon. I live not far away from the ground, but I've got to pick up my daughter from gymnastics at, specific times. I can't just leave her there and languish until 10:15 when I can pick her up. Do you know what I mean? So, there is, life happens. Life happens. People have got other things to do. It's not all about as much as we love Swindon, it's not everything in life, is it? So,
What?
but yeah, but I mean, like half time this time, honestly, just proper pissed me off. As I said, I went down. Just it must have been just before the minutes went up for the injury time, and was in the queue. The queue wasn't even that long this time. It was only queuing up just past the first set of toilets past the bar. So I was thinking, oh, not too bad. And then the queue wasn't moving hardly at all. There's only one person taking payments. There's 2 payment machines there, and there's 3 people in the kiosk. And you think, just put, 3 fucking people doing the money, you make loads more. I don't understand the logic of having one person serving at a time. It's just ridiculous. But anyway, it's queuing up, and then security come across saying, oh, from this point, we're not going to be serving any more drink because of the license. You're like, I've been fucking queuing here. If I come down...
He's got so angry,
like,
look, his connection
5
broke.
minutes after the whistle's gone, you'd understand it. But, no. Am I back?
I can see you, mate.
You're back.
Oh, right,
you're back.
Yeah.
You didn't go anywhere, am I, Ron?
Honestly, if I come down like 5 minutes after the whistle and then queued up and then chanced it, fair enough. But I was down there before the whistle went. Do you know what I mean? It's just like, and they were trying to send me say, oh, sorry, we're not going to serve you. It's just like, you can piss right off. You're going to serve me. I've been here long. Oh, it wasn't even close to the start of the second half either. That's the thing that really pissed me off. Anyway,
well, with fear of this turning into something that Craig will be putting to music and making a trail of on purely for banter purposes, let's try and talk about happier things. Life on the pitch. Did you enjoy the game, Ned?
Oh yeah, I did. I maybe I've got sort of rose tinted glasses on. I didn't think it was as bad as a lot of people are making out. I just think we just seem to sort of fuck up a lot in and around the box, which is quite a key point, obviously. But the play leading up to it, I thought was pretty decent. I didn't see it as bad as other people. I put a few players down here for notes. I've put Akinaldumeo was his finest game for Swindon I've seen for even probably last season. It was like watching the Predator playing. Honestly, what's his face? Bloody hell. Critchlow, yeah. It was just like a complete perfect stand-in for Critchlow. He showed maturity, confidence. He was solid as a rock. I'm now calling him right-sided Romany. That's my new name for him. But no, he was cool on the ball. I thought he had a really good game. Obviously there was that 5 minutes of madness where everyone just played rubbish, just before, as they scored. But I thought, he was the stand-up one for me. Obviously we know that Reed's going to have a good game. We know that Williams is going to have a good game, but Odemeo really stepped up. Obviously when we got Critchlow back, fuck me, we're not going to concede hardly any goals. Another point I wrote down about was the ref. I sat down on the front row for the first half, and you could hear him. It was like a rugby referee. And I understand he's ex-forces as well, so you could really see that he's like quite assertive. But I thought he had a really good game. And he was really vocal, and he made his point for every decision that he was doing. And anyone was giving him back chat, you could hear him sort of say, "No, I make the decisions around it." I thought it was really good. So watch out for him going forward.
I'm third, he still managed to get booked for dissent. Shit shock, fucking horror. In other news, if water is wet.
I've made a note. Kessler had a good game. First half I thought it was pretty decent. Obviously his nutmeg was pretty fantastic. But my note is that he needs to buy a new set of boots, because he's clearly wearing his Johnny Wilkinson boots, because every time he takes a fucking shot, it goes over. Every single time. But yeah, I just thought I thought it was really good. I thought Swindon fans were so quiet for this game, but obviously everyone's cold. But I mean, the first time you probably hear a song, which was a bit of a nail in the coffin, was, you know, us singing "How shit must you be?" You know, how shit must you be? We're winning at home, and then they go on to score like 2 minutes later. Just like proper nail in the coffin. But the other note of the player was Simpson. I thought he's really, with every game, he's improving all the time. He's such a handful. He's so quick. He's so agile. You know, I obviously I'm sure Ipswich will want him back, but if we could sign him, that would be a wonderful signing. I'd love for Swindon to purchase him.
And obviously, Ned's given us a very thorough rundown there, Ben. But do you generally agree with the comments made?
Yeah, I think he's covered all bases there, really. Odemeyer was fantastic. Even sort of step out over him. Usually he glides through games and he goes unnoticeable, unnoticed. But yeah, no, he was really, really good. It was one of the better performance. Best game I've seen Williams play for Swindon. I think the second half, Swindon were a little bit more dynamic, a bit more quicker, moving the ball around and look a lot more threatening, which is why we scored 3 goals. If we can move that on and sort our home issues out, then there's no reason why we can't challenge for top 3 at all. I think we look really, really good. Ian Dollo was awful the first half, but got a lot better the second half. Towards the end, he got a little bit, but first half, it was all over the place. But yeah, we had a mad 5 minutes. After that, I thought we were okay. I thought the first half was okay, nothing more than okay. I think Hartlepool were a little bit better than I thought they would be. A lot more ticky-tacker than I thought they would be as well. I thought they would be a little bit more rough and ready and shithousey, but they played some good football and fair play to them at times. But it's a good win. Yeah, good win. Take that on Saturday. Confidence building. It must have felt so good full time, just getting back in the dressing room and saying, right, monkey off our back now. Let's go on. Let's try and win again. And I think we've won like 9 and 11. I read some stats somewhere. I don't know if that's true or not, but we're absolutely flying at the minute. Beat Harrogate, and then we are second. We are properly going to be second and breathing down the necks of the grass munchers.
Well, before we look at Harrogate, Kieran, I'll bring you in at this point. So Ben's saying about the possibility of challenging for top 3. So at time of recording, we are sat 3rd on goal difference. Played a game less than Exeter, only 5 points behind Forest Green. I mean, it's something we've spoken about over a couple of episodes now, but we're pretty much in an ideal position when you consider where we were expected to be at this point, aren't we?
Yeah, we can't complain. See, where we expected to be, I think at the start of the season was very, very different. I think before we did our predictions, we did that before we signed the likes of Johnny Williams, I think, and possibly even McCurdy. And I think a lot of fans' predictions was, let's just stay up and stuff like that. And I think as the season's gone on, we've got the quality of players we need. This is sort of where I would expect us to be now with the squad that we've got. Obviously, there's a lot of factors going into the second half of the season where we go to talk about lack of pre-seasons and stuff. But I think we've got one of the best squads, if not the best squad in the league. Maybe lacking in depth, but League Two, no team's got real squad depth, nor in League One really, unless you're likes of a Sunderland or a Sheffield Wednesday or a big club that's got a bit more cash behind them. So I think we're in an ideal position at the minute. We haven't peaked too early like this fucking grass munching cunts have, and I really hope, for the love of God, they do not win the league, because
just to clarify, this is the team who you've been calling every name under the sun for weeks. Ned pointed out on last week's episode he's got a newfound level of hatred for them, and Ben's got a new best friend on a different international podcast for them.
Yes, they're the ones, and that what I got tweeted, and I drunk tweeted their owner. And
We do have to raise this, because panelists are slowly but surely bringing the good name of the Fools Rushing podcast into disrepute. You've got
you already had Christian on it from the start. There's no more there's no one worse than him. At least it wasn't our own owner or our own player.
Legally binding.
You've got Christian getting into online spats with our own players, and now you having legally binding online contracts about getting tattooed. Explain your actions.
There was a lot of lager, and I can't really remember why. I just thought it was a good idea. That I was annoyed at the class of '92, Ryan Reynolds, and I didn't tag Ryan Reynolds, and he replied. That could have gone really badly. That could have gone very badly. But no, I just fucking really dislike Dale Vincent Forest Green Rovers, to be honest with you. Shit club. Shit owner. But no, I think we're in an ideal, moving back onto the better issues of Swindon, I think we're in an ideal position. I think, as I said on the one we did last week, we realistically have to be in the playoffs minimum, but I think we have to be at the top end of the playoffs and challenge it. And the only way that we should be ended up in these playoffs is if we just miss out on automatic promotion, which I think would be, again, a bit disappointing, considering, I think, the position we're in now. And it's the only reason that we're not higher is because we've been awful. We've just not won games at home. I don't think we've been awful. I don't think we've really played that badly at all this season. We've not been unlucky with injuries. Probably this period is the most unluckiest we've been with injuries, of having a couple of centre backs out. So I think we're just at home. We just had it was a voodoo, and I think it was a bit of pressure on top of us. Maybe whether we were getting big crowds than we were expected. I don't know what it was. And then I think the longer it went on, it just became one of those things that it's just going to get on. It just plays on the players' minds, I think. Now it's off their minds. Now we've got that another win at home, and hopefully we can crack on with a quite a big game again on Saturday, because Harrogate are sort of up and around there. So we got to be looking to take points off, because you don't know what they're going to do in the second half of the season. And I think we need to just get Karen rolling Saturday, and we need another home win.
Well, again, just before we properly look at Harrogate, let's cover some of the general admin bits that we do. We don't want to miss any features off this week. So in the absence of Woody and Rich, I've been checking out what's been going on with the women's squad, just to make sure that they get their time to shine, so to speak. And I believe congratulations are in order, because they had a very, very handy, very nice 9-0 win over Melksham in the, I want to say it was the Wiltshire Cup. So yes, 9-0, congratulations to STFC women on that result. And form, as far as it seems, compared to what Woody and Rich were reporting at the very beginning of the season, certainly seems to be picking up. They're definitely getting wins more regularly now. So congratulations to them.
Go on, the girls.
Well, exactly. And because I wasn't sure whether Kieran was going to be here to gloat or not, because, you know, when he has weekends away, he tends to get himself into trouble. Let's have a quick look at the Fantasy Premier League.
Ned doesn't want to look at it, does he? Ned doesn't want to look at the league.
Ned doesn't want to look at it at all. So Ned has, unfortunately for you, sir, you've dropped to the bottom despite a fairly average week. You're now bottom of the league table.
Have you told him what the conditions are? Whoever finishes bottom gets relegated from this pod and has to go to the Low Strangers. They have to go to the Forest. They have to go to Gay Sutton's podcast.
They go to the Forest Green podcast in America.
That's it.
Can we just all do a little #1 show? Because
I saw him at the game. I saw him and spoke to him at the game.
Yes, let's talk about that. I saw the message in the WhatsApp group. You saw one show.
Yeah, I saw one show. I immediately recognised him from his one episode.
Please tell me you shouted one show at him.
I did. Well, to be fair, I didn't shout because he was about a metre in front of me coming out of the toilet. So I one show! Proper aggressive.
In the toilet. One show and you
pissed over my leg. Yeah. No, yeah. He's promised that he's coming out for the Christmas do as well. And speaking of Christmas do, what we'll do if someone doesn't come out, then obviously we all know I've got t-shirts for everyone. What we'll do is we'll auction off whoever doesn't turn up to t-shirts. There we go.
Yeah,
that'll be our donation. Charity donation.
Don't buy them, but yeah, charity. Is one show going to have to buy their own t-shirt back?
Well, one show I'm sure will be turning up, because he will want to lord it over everyone with his very handy 79 points this week on Fantasy Premier League. I'm still in 6th, and then Ben, you're in 5th Warren's in 4th. Woody's dropped to 3rd. Rich is now up to 2nd and still leading the way. Quick maths, 28 points clear of Rich is young Mr. Kieran.
So that's why Woody's not come on the pod tonight, is that right?
No, because he's raging after saying he was closing the gap. He's closing the gap. He got it down to about 20 points. I don't know what he's on now, but fucking.
So you're currently 31 points ahead of him.
Oh,
My missus pointed out over the weekend as well, very quite proudly, that once again she has beaten all of us apart from one show this week, and she does it quite regularly.
So here's an open invite. We know that Lady Ben of the Manor does not want to necessarily be the face in front of the camera.
No.
she's not covering the fantasy league. She'll be
but
top.
she's more than welcome
Yeah.
to join the fantasy league to show us all up.
No, that's fucking cheating.
So, how
No.
many points have
No.
you got? Wait a minute, she's just checking her points just to see how many she's got in total.
Kieran's outright refusing her entry to the fantasy league. But no, the invitation is certainly there. If she'd like to show us all up, then she can.
If Gary was top at this stage and I was second, I'd be old for kicking Gary out of it.
Let's move on then and properly have a look at Harrogate. As you say, it's another home game. They're currently sat 6th in the table, just 3 points behind us. Ned, I'll come to you first. Confident? Is that the right word?
Well, I don't know.
Do we have a little Ned report?
Well, I've got a few notes down here.
This is what happens when I'm in charge. Ned is prepared.
The Ned Report. Featuring Ned.
Right, so yeah, well, I was going to go straight into a few of their players. Obviously, Luke Armstrong. One thing I did note was he scored 9 goals this season. 3 with his left foot, 3 with his right foot, and 3 with his head.
Please
What an all-round player!
That was readily available. You haven't watched like all 9 of his goals this season.
No, that was readily available.
Fuck for that, because I was about to call you a really sad prick.
Just a sad prick instead. Cheers, Kieran.
Sorry,
but,
I'm just laughing doodly.
And he's got a 65% shot accuracy again, which I think is pretty decent, isn't it? Even though he's
well, let's put that in perspective. I mean, I was never of the standard to make a professional footballer, but I'm sure in my career I had a 65% shot accuracy.
Depends if he's having a shitload of shots as well. Like he could be fucking blasting.
yeah.
We need more context, Ned.
Oh, sorry. I didn't realise they're going to be scrutinised. Sorry. Okay.
We do appreciate you, Ned.
Oh, thank you. Right. So.
Cheers, Steve. Ned's crying.
So two games ago they lost at home to Salford, so that gives me hope that they actually are pretty shit. And yes, they beat Carlisle away.
We got the Ned their shit remark.
And then they beat Carlisle, but again, that's a bye, isn't it? At the moment, because they're proper shit.
Didn't we get beat? No, we drew with them. No, we got beat.
We lost Carlisle.
No, we lost. Yeah. That's pretty much a bye. But we
basically
them.
ever since then, they haven't blinking won, have they? They're absolutely rubbish. They've had their FA Cup final. They played and beat us, and that's it. They down tools for the rest of the season now. Oh, Carlisle.
Season peaked.
but yeah, they play the traditional 4-4-2. They can switch to a 4-3-3.
Just sorry to interrupt, but we have to put it on record now, just so that this stops becoming a joke. It's absolutely essential in the second half of the season that we beat them.
I know, yeah.
You just got. You can see the first away loss of the season was like 4-0 at Carlisle.
So sorry, Ned. Do carry on.
Yeah, just like hide, like. Oh, okay, back. Right. So, I see that they can switch to a 4-3-3, but I cannot expect them to be playing a 4-3-3 against us. I don't think that's what's going to happen at all away from home. I was going to say none of their players are particularly good. He's back. Right. None of their players are particularly good, but all credit go to the manager. Old what's his name? Weaver. I think he's done an amazing job. He hasn't been around the leagues. He's been in the low leagues all of his footballing career and management career. But I think he deserves a massive amount of credit. And what I found out interesting as well is that after he got the job at Harrogate, his dad took over as chairman. So imagine if he starts losing, he's going to have a conversation with his dad for that dreaded vote of confidence. No.
Give us 200 grand. I need a striker.
Yeah, exactly. Imagine him conversation.
You got 200 grand for a striker. What's the last 100 grand I gave you?
Oh, sorry, Ted. I went on a car. Sorry, I need another 400 grand, please. Oh, Jesus. Go to bed.
Go to bed. Yes. Lost the Carlisle, you twats. Go to bed.
And there's shit. It's like a bye losing to fucking Carlisle.
It's not a fucking bye. They fucking beat Swindon.
To be fair, Dad, they did beat Swindon.
Yeah.
Sorry, Dad.
Sorry, Dad.
They beat Swindon at fucking home. That's like a fucking bye.
That's it. I'm holding your wages, young man.
You don't beat Swindon on fucking.
He's
I
muted
don't know
himself.
about anyone else. Now we have been asked if I can start releasing just audio versions again, which I will do. But for those who aren't watching this, are missing quality content of Kieran Keek disappearing, and it's looking very rude with his background of Ben. But also when he's drinking out of his bottle, he looks like he's suckling on a nipple at the same time.
I love a suck on a tit.
Oi. Right, so
It's worth noting we are recording very late tonight.
yeah.
It's well past our bedtimes.
The old sleep deprivation
it was
is
Aldi orange zero sugar, healthy. It tastes like Fanta.
a shameless plug midway through.
We want sponsors.
Quinton Spice.
Chicken 69.
Chicken 69. So yeah, I think we've got a good chance now. We've got that hoodoo off our back. I think it'll be close. I think it'll be a second half victory once again, like a 2-1, that type of thing. I'm full of confidence at home now.
Good. That's what we like to hear. How about you, Ben? Full of confidence?
Yeah, pretty much. They've actually got a pretty good away record. I think they've got the third best away record, so they're a little bit behind the Grass Eaters, Munchers, with their away form. But
who's got the best away record?
Oh, let me have a think. Swindon Town. Yeah, hopefully they come at us and have a go. I'd love that, because then it'll actually be a good open game of football. We've not seen one of them in the county ground yet. So hopefully they fancy themselves. But they've had a great season. They're punching above their weight. I suspect they'll probably drop down as the season drops in a little bit later. But yeah, I think now we've got that beaten one. I think we'll go all guns a blazing, and be in it to kill it and win it. And I think we'll win.
Score prediction?
Ooh, 2-0.
2-0. And how about you, Kieran?
Yeah, we should really just be beating little clubs like Harrogate. It's embarrassing that we're even really playing them, to be honest. It must be like feeling like they're cup final on a day out for them. But I'm gonna keep it. I'm surprised they're not bringing like a sellout crowd for their away end, because it's gonna be the one time they get to come see a proper ground, proper fans, proper day out for them, proper town. They've got an attraction at the ground to come see the magic roundabout, and obviously must be exciting for them to get out of the north. So they must be buzzing for it. I know 20 quid's a lot for them. It's a week's wages up there. But I think they've had a good start, maybe a bit of luck. And there's going to be no match for the league pissing Reds. Harry McPotter and fucking the rest of them, and Vincent Perricard up front. But I'm going to keep my score prediction. I'm going to keep with what I do every week because it's worked well so far. So I think they're going to beat us 2-1. Because every time I've said this now, we've gone on to win, so we're going to keep on that. But I hope they enjoy their day out. I hope they can enjoy seeing a proper ground, and they won't be seeing it again next year after we've won the league. But at least they won't be getting relegated by the looks of it, because they're worth teams such as older in the league.
Kieran, where are you? Your face has turned into like a shadow. He stand in bright sunlight.
He stands under his light at on just to try and improve his skin complexion.
Anyone that's on audio, he looks like ET at the moment with his hoodie around his ears. What he needs is the backdrop of that kiddie on the post bike.
I like the fact that we're automatically caring about people who are only listening and don't want to look at our faces by doing audio description for them at the same time.
Not looking at our beautiful faces just by looking at the audio one. Piss yourself off.
Isn't it?
But we love you for listening.
We love you equally as still, but not as much.
Please don't hate us because Kieran's slagging you off for not watching us and only listening to us.
This is great away day content.
If you're doing either, we really appreciate you, because I don't know why you've watched this.
Appreciate anyone listening to it.
I don't even watch
to
this.
sign off, lads, there was a question in the mailbag that went unanswered last week. It's the one thing that Craig didn't quite get round to, unfortunately. So saved it for this week.
You got to reach into the mailbag. You got to reach in, go down and get it. There we go. If you.
One bit of mail.
It's like you're fisting a chicken. Whoa!
And the question was,
I hope it's not asking how to get to Newport, because we might be a bit fucking late.
No, we only do travel updates when Craig's on, because he loves it.
Yeah, that's it. Train update.
The question was, and I think it stemmed from the England game that was on at the time, but just generally speaking, fans of any age, whether they're kids or adults, holding signs up that say player's name. Can I
get banned?
Can I have your boots, shirt, whatever?
Ban them.
Get in the bin, and do they need executing?
Banish them from the continent. Fucking embarrassing. I can understand sometimes kids doing it, but the first one to do it was like, yeah, really great idea. But just get them naturally. We all people just wait for things naturally, and players choose who to give them to. They normally see a young kid in the crowd who's going to get them, but fucking fully grown adults don't need their hard drives checking and probably fucking looked into. They are fucking nonsense.
Well, Ned, Kieran spoke very passionately on the topic. Where do you stand on it?
Well, not entirely what Kieran said.
Tuesday night, wasn't he? He was on
Williams!
I think if you're over the age of 15, I think you shouldn't be doing that. It's embarrassing. I mean, they do it in America, so fuck off over there, as far as I'm concerned.
We know someone who hosts a podcast about a League Two team over there.
Yes, my American friend.
He holds a fucking sign up, doesn't he, at a football match when he comes over.
Should I get him on here one day when we play for a screen at home?
Yeah,
get him on.
If Kieran's on, I don't think it's a good idea.
I'll be on my best. I'm always good for Simon. I've never abused Colchester.
He'll come on.
Oh yeah, because you've got a history with Colchester, haven't you? Do you know what I mean?
Well, we getting Si back for the Colu game anyway.
Yeah, I like Si. He's nice.
Si will certainly be back on at least 2 more occasions this season. Yes.
Just so we can be the only Swindon podcast that boasts a regular international panelist.
Yes.
International football panelist, not like American or something, but an actual. He plays for England and England. So.
Because only
Yeah,
the
take
best, only the best for our viewers or listeners if you're only doing the audio version.
Take that, Gabriel Sutton.
Ben,
You
don't want
you.
us. He wants us.
Ben, fans holding signs up begging for boots and shirts. A fan of it?
Not really, not really.
No?
As I say, it's sweet once or twice, you know, and but when it happens a lot, then it's just begging, isn't it? Really, at the end of the day, and I think players should be encouraged not to do it.
You wouldn't go to a strip club and hold a sign up and ask a stripper for a bra, would you? Don't go to a football match.
You probably would, Kieran. That's the sad thing about it.
That's come straight off the tongue of someone that's actually held up a sign before.
But yeah, no, it's not. Yeah, you don't do it. It just looks a bit cheesy and a bit beggy. You know, some players sometimes go and throw it, ask for it, absolutely, but yeah, don't beg.
Well, as always, whoever, whenever, if you do have a question you want us to answer in our direct, frank and honest way that only we, particularly Kieran, can, then tweet them in, Facebook them in, and whatever, as we've proven over the last few weeks, whatever the topic, we will certainly ask it to the panel. Ned, did you have a final thought you wanted to throw in there?
Oh, I was just going to say, I swear I remember Kieran doing it before, actually, but I think it was at a McFly concert, wasn't it?
Never had a fucking fight.
Can I have your drumstick?
Something close to that, I'm
he
sure.
gave me an actual drumstick, not what I wanted.
Lads, thank you very much for staying up so late on a Wednesday night to talk to me. As always, it's been an absolute pleasure. And that goes for Christian as well, who had to disappear halfway through. But yes, thank you very much. And until next time, good night.
Bye, Doodley.
Bye.